John F. Kennedy once said, "Things do not happen, things are made to happen." I enjoy this quote as it applies to any group of people who are looking to start something new or make a positive change through service. Hi, my name is John Schmidt. I am the athletic director at St. John's Northwestern Academies. I'm very happy to be presenting today to our Booster Club. I appreciate you all being here and taking a part in this presentation. Here's a brief overview of the things I'd like to discuss today. I want to tell you a little bit more about me and my life. I want to talk with you about our athletics program, our mission, and who we are. I'd like to tell you more about our Booster Club mission, my role as the AD, and how I can aid your efforts. I want to explain the booster to athletics flow, how the money gets approved and spent in our programs and our student athletes. I'd like to chat about our fundraising efforts, where those funds will be allocated, and what our needs are. Finally, I want to explain our financial goals of the Booster Club and what I can do to help you help us. Here's a little about myself and my background. I am a local. I grew up in the area. I attended Hartford High School. In college, I attended UWW. I studied physical education, and I competed on the wrestling team with some good success. I didn't completely use my degree out of college. I spent a few years running gyms and working in strength conditioning. Eventually, those jobs, I ended up here at St. John's Northwestern Academies. I've been teaching Phi Ed for 6 years. Throughout this time, I've coached 12 sports seasons in wrestling, track and field, and I ran the intramurals program. My previous years coaching in sports started at the club level with a local club called Ringers. It's out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I did 2 years with the Badgers, assisting with their upper weights. That was a fantastic experience, just observing a Big Ten room. And finally, my brother is the head coach at Milwaukee School of Engineering. I spent 4 years also assisting that team. Pictured to the right of the screen, you'll see my son Henry, who's 4 years old. He has his dog Pabst, who he adores and he loves, coming to our events and supporting our teams throughout the season. I'd like to read to you our school mission statement, also a bit about who we are and our history. Activities for every student in every season build endurance and leadership. Every student at St. John's Northwestern Academy participates in athletic and wellness activities at the varsity or intramural level. Participants learn to appreciate team play, grow to believe in their ability to face challenges, and develop the habits of good sportsmanship skills that will serve them for life. I enjoy that last part of that statement, serve them for life. Everything we do should share the same idea. We are preparing our students for life. We can do this through athletics. We are looking for time management skills, organization, sportsmanship, and character building situations. We have a high level of success in our athletics over our 137-year history. We have continually sent kids to the next level of athletics, and now we have an opportunity, since we opened our doors to females, to do that with girls as well. We'll take a few minutes here to review some of our basic points of our Booster Club bylaws. Article 1 in our bylaws is name and purpose. Here is our Lancer Athletics Booster Club mission. And let's see how we can meet our athletic department's mission in the middle. It is the mission of the Lancer Athletics Booster Club to support the athletic department's goals of creating a quality environment for all sports clubs and activities. We do this through volunteering time, raising money, and contributing funds to better enhance the student-athlete experience. This is an excellent mission that lines up well with what we are trying to do as an athletic department. It clearly states what the Booster Club is going to do to support us and our students' needs. The sections in Article 2 are going to talk about membership. All parents, guardians, or other persons with a child enrolled at attending St. John's are members. The principal, assistant principals, and the members of the licensed teaching staff shall be non-voting advisory members of the organization. The members shall have the right and responsibility to attend meetings and events sponsored by the organization, serve on the committees, and be nominated to elect and elected to office. Voting members shall have the right to vote for the officers, review and approve annual budget, and approve amendments to the bylaws. The members present at any membership meeting of the organization, provided 6 or more members are present, shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. In the absence of a quorum, the membership may not take action. In that event, any matter brought before the membership at a meeting at which quorum is not present shall be discussed and decided by the executive board. There should be at least one general annual meeting of the membership in July at which the officers are elected. Such additional business or special meetings may be held alone or in conjunction with an event sponsored by the organization as is determined by the executive board, or at the request of 4 or more members in writing to the executive board. Article 3 of the bylaws goes over the executive board. The executive board shall consist of the elected officers of the organization. The affairs, activities, and operation of the organization shall be managed by the executive board. The executive board shall transact necessary business during the intervals between the meetings of the membership and such other business as may be referred to it by the membership or these bylaws. May create standing and special committees, approve the plans and work of standing and special committees, prepare and submit a budget to the membership for approval, and in general, conduct the business and activities of the organization. The executive board shall meet monthly to prepare for general membership meetings and conduct the affairs of the organization. The quorum of the executive board for the conduct of business shall consist of at least 3 officers in attendance. Any action required or permitted to be taken at the meeting of the board of directors or of any of the committee may be taken without a meeting if all of the members of the board or committee consent in writing to taking the action without a meeting and to approving the specific action. Such consents shall have the same force and effect as a unanimous vote of the board or of the committee, as the case may be. Members of the executive board may participate in a meeting through use of video or audio software applications or similar communications equipment, so long as the members participating in the meeting can hear one another. Executive board members shall serve without compensation, with the exception of expenses incurred in the furtherance of the organization's business are allowed to be reimbursed with documentation in accordance with the organization's financial policies and prior approval. So the main items here are officers are elected, okay? We have a certain amount of people that need to be at each meeting in order to take action, which is 3 of the office members. When we do the meetings, the executive board can participate via Zoom, Meets, Google Teams, or any other type of video or audio device that actually works. Also, a good reminder that people serving the executive board for the Lancers Athletic Booster Club are not paid. Article 4 in the bylaws talks about officers and their elections. Keep in mind here we have 4 officers. We have the president, the vice president, the secretary, and not showing on the screen is the treasurer. Additional officers may be elected or appointed by the executive board from time to time. Okay. A nominating committee composed of the current president and at least 1 additional officer shall be seeking nominees in April of the year in which candidates will be elected and develop a slate of candidates. The candidates shall be announced to the membership as soon as possible. Additional nominees may be solicited from the floor on the day of election. Only those who have consented to serve shall be eligible for nomination. Officers will be elected at the July meeting of the organization by the members present. Officers shall assume their official duties on the last day of the current school year following their election. Officers shall serve a 1-year term. Officers may be elected for up to 2 consecutive terms in the same office. A vacancy occurring in any office shall be filed with the unexpired term by a person elected by a majority vote of the remaining members of the executive board. Article 5 discusses the duties of the officers. We have the president, the vice president, and the secretary, and the treasurer. The president shall be the principal executive officer of the organization and, subject to the control of the executive board, shall in general supervise and control all the activities of the organization. When president, the president shall preside at all meetings of the executive board and all meetings of the membership. The president shall vote only in the case of a tie in a vote of the executive board or the membership. The president shall select and appoint the chaperones or the chairpersons of all standing and special committees and shall be an ex officio member of all committees of the organization. The vice president shall be a member of the executive board and, in the absence of the president, shall perform the duties of the president. The secretary shall be a member of the executive board as well. The secretary shall keep the minutes of the proceedings of the membership and executive board. Shall see that all notices are duly given in accordance with these bylaws. Shall be responsible for publishing and the meeting minutes. Shall manage and keep an accurate tally of volunteer records and, in general, perform all the duties incident to the office of the secretary and other such duties as may be assigned by the president of the executive board. The treasurer shall be a member of the executive board as well. The treasurer is an authorized custodian to have oversight of all funds of the organization in accordance with the organization's financial policies. The treasurer will organize, document, and record all financial activities. The treasurer will be diligent and conscientious in ensuring all funds are received and spent in accordance with the organization's tax-exempt purpose, bylaws, and budget. The financial records belong to the organization and must be available to the other officers and members upon request. Article 5 talks about finances. Budget shall be used to guide the activities of the organization during the year, including serving as approval for anticipated expenditures. Any substantial deviation from the budget must be approved in advance by the membership. The executive board may authorize any officer or officers to enter the contracts or agreements for the purchase of materials or services on behalf of the organization. Loans. No loan shall be made by the organization to its officers or members. Checks, drafts, and other orders for the payment of money on behalf of the organization shall be signed by the treasurer. 2 signatures required for checks in the amount of $250 or more. Those signatures can come from anyone else serving on the executive board. The treasurer shall ensure that all deposits and disbursements shall be documented by a receipt, an invoice, or other written documentation. Financial controls. The organization shall adopt appropriate financial controls to ensure the integrity of its funds. Specifically, without limitation, the organization shall maintain separation of financial controls so that minimally. Financial report. The treasurer shall present a financial report at each membership meeting of the organization and prepare a final report at the close of the year in accordance with the organization's financial policies. Our fiscal year is July 1 through June. July through the following June. Our financial record retention. All records of the organization shall be maintained and destroyed in accordance with the law and standard record retention guidelines. Let's talk about my role as the AD for the school and for the Booster Club as well. My first priority is to support our students. I also need to support our programs and our coaches. My job as the AD is to oversee all aspects of the athletic department. While doing this, I can continuously perform needs assessments to see what our teams and department are in needs of. I serve as liaison from the athletics department to the Booster Club. When we are in need, I can come to you guys to ask for money. How does the money from the Booster Club get to our students? It starts with coaches or myself filling out a needs assessment on a yearly basis. Once that is filled out, I can review it in a meeting with the coach. If I agree and see that is the necessary purchase, I'll consult with the Booster Club president. Following that, we can evaluate vendor bids. Once we select a vendor based on our vendor assessment, then the request can be sent to finance. They'll generate a PO, reach out to the vendor, and make the purchase happen. This is very similar to how we would conduct a purchase through our general fund. It's just a different account that the money will come out of, raised by you guys. As stated, my job is to figure out where these funds are needed. I've set two categories. Priority items are uniforms, food, and meal expenses, and end of the season awards. Our secondary items are facility rentals and club intramural activities. Priority items will be met first, with secondary items to be awarded based on leftover funds. Meeting the first set of needs helps ensure that spending is equitable. Because all teams are on a 4-year uniform rotation, this money will go automatically to whichever sport is next in line. Food and meal items are provided and paid for through our contracted company. All teams have access to travel meals. Because all students at SJNA compete in athletics or activities, all students are provided awards at the end of the season ceremonies. Awards are the same regardless of gender. As you know, this is our first year having a Booster Club. I've set us some goals for fundraising. For the 23 to 24 school year, our fundraising goals will be $40,000. Theoretically, our objectives would be about 10% from membership fees, 15% through athletic concessions, 25% from fundraising and corporate fundraising efforts, and 50%, which is about $20,000, coming from our annual Booster Club golf outing. To conclude, the athletic department's purpose is to provide quality opportunities for our student athletes. The role of the Booster Club is to support the department where needed. It is vital for the organizational purposes, that any member of the Lancer Athletics Booster Club understand the missions of the Academy, the Athletic Department, and the Booster Club. This is our why. Comprehension of the operational terms, organizational strategies, and pertinent information provided by the bylaws is pivotal to the Booster Club's success. Remember, I am here to help this club support our student athletes. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to send any questions or concerns my way. Thank you.